So our topic is the graphical representation of the complex number, or we call it the Argon Diagram. In your previous mathematical subjects, you studied the x and y axis, the two-dimensional axis, where you consider the horizontal line be the x-axis and the vertical line is the y-axis. Here, you consider the horizontal line as your abscissa axis. It is the abscissa. And the y is now called as the imaginary axis. And here you have the r with the point A and B, where the A and B are the real numbers here, and the angle formed from with respect to the abscissa is the theta. So r is your absolute value, or the length of the complex numbers, also called as the modulus of the complex numbers. And the theta is the amplitude or the argument of the complex numbers, where the tangent of theta here is equals to the opposite over adjacent, b over a, or the theta now is the arctan of b over a. On the other hand, to get the length, the r, the absolute value, we consider the right triangle. And applying the Pythagorean Theorem, we have now the r square is equals a square plus b square, or r is equals to the square root of a square plus b square. Three plus 3, 4i is a complex number. Compute its absolute value. Solution. For our formula for the complex number, z equals a plus bi. Substitute here the problem. We have 3 plus 4i. So we have now our a be 3 and our b be 4. Substitute for the absolute value r is equal to the square root of a square plus b square is also equal to the square root of 3 square plus 4 square, or r now is equals to 5 because it is square root of 25. For our next problem, determine the length and direction of negative 4 plus 3i. So to solve it, we have the z equals negative 4 plus 3i. Our a is negative 4 and b is 3. Our r equals the square root of a square plus b square. So we have now negative 4 square plus 3 square, or we have 5. if you graph the problem, our A is negative 4. And our B is 3. So ito yun. This is our theta. So with that, theta now is the arc of 3 over 4. Guys, take the absolute value instead of negative. Kasi na-draw na natin, nasa left side siya, just take the absolute value 4. We have now 36.869. Therefore, the direction is equals to 180 degrees minus 36.869 degrees. Or we have 143.131 degrees. For our next problem, evaluate the value of square root of negative 10 times the square root of negative 7. So to solve it, our next problem is evaluate the value of square root of negative 10 times square root of negative 2. To solve it, manipulate the problem in this way. As you notice, square root of negative 10 can be expressed as square root of negative 1 times 10. And for the square root of negative 7 can be expressed also as the square root of negative 1 times 7. We said that I is equals to negative or the square root of negative 1. So, we can bring it out here. So, it is I times the square root of 10 times I times the square root of 7. Then we have now the I square times the square root of 70. 10 times 7. Or we have now the negative square root of 70. Because here, I square is negative 1.